Continuing to evolve the popular Pursuit paddle series, Engage introduces the Pursuit Pro EX and EX 6.0. New for the Pursuit Pros is a new Raw T700 Carbon Fiber surface for greater spin potential and Vortex Barrier Edge Technology to expand the sweet spot. Both paddles also feature a proprietary Pro Black Polymer Core. The EX paddles are standard shaped paddles with a 16-inch length. The EX has an average weight of 7.9 ounces to 8.3 ounces, and the EX 6.0's average weight ranges from 8.1 to 8.4 ounces. Finally, there are two paddle thicknesses to choose from, with the EX measuring 13 millimeters and the EX 6.0 at 16 millimeters. You know, these Engage paddles continue to evolve. This is, I think, maybe the third version. Now, when I picked this one up, I found this one to have a crisper feel, not quite as soft as that just more recent Ultra line. I was getting a little bit more power and a little bit more response off the paddle than that outgoing Ultra version. How about you?
I'm going to agree with Tiffany 100%. The Ultra felt a little softer. It was kind of clinging the ball on there, giving it a little more control. I feel like the surface combined with, I think they're referring to it as a black polymer control core, definitely helps push the ball off there, even though it's called a control core. So I definitely feel like it's a more lively paddle than it was. I really enjoy these paddles. Before kind of getting into specialized paddles, the same way I would go to a pool hall, I would just choose a stick. This was the first foray into a very performance-oriented paddle. The Pursuit EX and MX 6.0 were my favorites, and I would just say they've really evolved these paddles, like you were mentioning the Ultra and onto the Pros. So yeah, very playable, easy to play with paddle. We have to play a few times, doubles and singles. Do you prefer it more at net or from the backcourt?
Well, I actually, for both singles and doubles, preferred the thicker 6.0. I just liked the feel off of that. I felt a little bit more control and actually power. And I don't know if it's because it weighs a little bit more, but when I was getting in singles that full swing from the backcourt, I was getting a little bit more power. I did find both to be very maneuverable, but just found, just for my game, a little bit more of a feel for the ball with the 6.0.
I'm glad you mentioned weight. This is definitely shines some love at Engage in general. They have a wide range of paddle weights. I think these are running from about 7.5 to 8.3, so that's a lot of choice between mass-based maneuverability or mass-based power, so I think that's definitely a plus for variety of options for the paddle itself.
Now I know that we are testing the EX here. I actually liked that standard shape. I typically go for those more elongated, like their MX line, but I really appreciated it at net, that standard shape. Just a little bit quicker feel when we were in fast volley exchanges.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with Tiffany on that one as well. It's definitely a maneuverable paddle. I felt like my blocks, resets, dinks, anything in near the kitchen was pretty good. I really enjoyed serving with it. Something about the width of the paddle seems to expand the sweet spot. Maybe that has something to do with the Vortex Barrier Edge guard as well, kind of pulling it to the edges. But overall, just a really predictable paddle. One other thing I feel like worth mentioning is the branding. I sometimes wonder if the paddle is actually made by a player or somebody that wants to play pickleball. Usually there's an interrupted surface right where you would be making contact with the ball, and that kind of just, you know, doesn't give you the spin potential that you could. Engage has now figured out a way to put their branding on there, including a bullseye right where the sweet spot is, and not really interrupt the spin potential at all. So I thought that was a huge improvement as well.
Yeah, I really have thought the spin was there. I didn't think it was the most, I wasn't getting like loads extra spin, but I thought the spin was more than adequate, and I always was finding my shots with it, and also very consistent like you mentioned. I really have few downsides.
Nope, no gripes with this paddle. It definitely lasted. It is a lot more durable. It'll take dings against the court, not anger management hits, but this is definitely a paddle that will last a lot longer than prior editions. I always love the performance, and you know, my gripe about a lot of pickleball paddles is they just don't last as long. This paddle seems to hold together very nicely.
For more information on these Engage Pursuit Pro paddles, please visit us at totalpickleball.com.